Crow. Less. Sugar Zero. Sardark. Ten. Saucy. Last. Bars. XQQ. BCK.
This is the big one, everyone. This is Japan versus Brazil.
She's been the cornerstone of some of Zeta's success.
Yeah, this is going to be a brutal game. Again, that fairy tale we saw really hit for Zeta. It's always so poignant. But it does seem to be the exception to the rule. However, we already have a good start. 10 are going to get things started, and we want to see a big performance from 10. He needs to have a heated game, especially as you noted, with the composition tailoring towards that. As it stands, first pick, and the tempo gets held.
Spike actually regrouping towards short. Less hasn't been given a peek just yet, but Depp is unnoted. Actually, the wall's going to cut that off as well. Got to be careful here. Second smoke goes up, and actually Sugar Zero able to catch a headshot onto Pancada.
Is it, how many rotations does this pull? It was only a spot on one.
Actually, with the deep position on long, I'm curious as to why they've sent that. Loud will actually find themselves a favourable numbers advantage here on A site. Depp slowly making his way back here, but
the window's closing.
Yeah.
And the rotation's going to be, maybe not going to be at least at the forefront of the hit, but the fight comes out well for Less. Carve some space and 10's removed, so back to a 4v4. Spike going to be planted, I don't doubt that's going down. Depp, though, happy to dive in, put life on the line for this. Pancada a little lower. Boombot there, do they swing this? Not yet.
Crow's actually still posted up. He actually gets dealt with. Depp will find his second now, though, and actually...
How's Depp standing?
How?
Finally goes down. Pancada the last one there, and a little bit of an up and over from Sugar Zero. And they do work this one out. I was amazed that Depp kept his life for that long.
I mean, they played it very cautiously around the Boombot, actually. I was saying the Cloudburst cutting off one of the angles there, but I think Loud are just so scared to dig any deeper.
Yeah.
Crow at this point, unnoted, I think, finally dealt with by Pancada, but great round from Depp, actually. Just getting ahead of this smoke.
And even just holding this.
Yeah, completely.
Wow.
Getting away with murder, actually coming away from that. Nobody even anticipating the possibility, but a nice opener from 10 here. Immediate pick off the rip outside showers, and as you noted, really slowed things down.
Good for confidence building too. If you're going to go for a composition like this, you have to play to what it entails, what it means. Those agents do lend to aggression. They don't stand the test of time when they elongate these rounds. So for them, they have to keep being somewhat proactive. We go back in though. We do see the sheriffs coming out, so no armor behind it, not too much utility either, very much a bare basics here coming out for Loud, but we've seen already plenty of damage can be achieved with these sheriffs.
Actually, the Phantom in hand. Depp. 10 trying to get back outside showers of that fault line as well, but no damage actually comes through.
Ooh, they crept up so quick to this. Depp's very aware, and Crow's trying to be in pretty much a complementary position, maybe get contact and slip CT if he does feel as though he's lost that, but they need to be really cautious on this timing. If they leave this gap open, there's the first spot, but one player's ahead. Aspas already there, Depp's in a little bit of danger, but he has full faith in his teammate, just focuses on what's in front of him, but he finally falls. That pins him down, and that's a 2-for-1 trade out. If that rifle got recovered, that could be an issue, and maybe it's an issue anyway. Utility invested, now the spike going down. A 3v3, and if they could get their hands on that gun, it would be wondrous. And oh my word, Les, how did you just get to? Now Les, how is he still standing in this one? Les backing away here. This is so dangerous, Laz. Okay, he saved it, but barely, Mike. I mean, this is already, that's a warning throughout the rest of the game.
Absolutely. It just so happens that there's nothing really to secure, obviously, front sight control and retrieve that weapon.
If
That could
that
have gone
Phantom got
completely
back.
the other direction. I mean, even still came down to one. I think actually Lad's taken 2 tags there with the Sheriff. Only 40 HP to drag that one across the line. A great round 2 from Loud, actually. I'm interested to see what Zeta's decision-making is here in terms of the purchase. The Phantom saved across, but whether or not everybody's even going to be able to get... Oh, well.
No, well, that's telling.
Just the 1 rifle, 2 Sheriffs and a Frenzy. So they're going to try and ride this out for round 4. Allowed to keep this clean. Zeta actually has 4, looking to get very, very aggressive outside hooker.
Full commitment behind this too. Flash to follow, and they really want to crunch towards this. Sassy's in a little bit of danger, and Aspas going to try and bail him out, and he does do exactly that. Gets away with his life, but the follow-up flash will keep them tamed, but still, this is good early work to deal with this aggression. Loud, fully aware now, and sharp work coming out. Leaving the 2 danger players, the ones that had the rifles, or at least at the end, still standing, Depp being one of them, but irrelevant to the outcome of the round, it feels at this point, as Loud so equipped to handle that.
Yeah, definitely. With the remaining credits, do want to see some damage, at the very least, but Loud, happy to wait this one out. I mean, there's still a minute left on the clock here. The swing punished. Asked for it to be clean, and it's a prime gaming flawless here for Loud. Really well handled. Again, these are the sorts of rounds that actually Zeta have to try and pull off, especially if they find themselves at a deficit here on the defense. They have to really take the initiative, take the fight to Loud.
Heard in the interviews they wanted pressure, Zeta feeling they thrive under it, but Loud, I feel just somewhat in the same. I don't think we've seen a bad look from Loud yet either. Keep in mind, obviously, this is a rematch already, one of the opening games earlier.
Well, actually, just to double down on that, Zeta are probably going to be feeling as if, yeah, we've got to switch up playstyle, right? If they came away from the first, you know, feeling a little dishevelled, expect big changes on their side. Obviously, this comp leads into that as well. Aspas tasked. Clears the hook a little bit. A 3rd player committed towards this B-site hold again. This is 10 in Depp. Bladestorm in hand, actually, for Depp.
Clean opening work. That's devastating as well for Zeta, losing out so early on Sugar Zero, and that really shouldn't happen so comfortably. A deep paint shell comes in, and Aspas is just happy to take the space. It's pretty much, there is supporting utility behind it, but it is only really him dedicated to this so far. If they get another pick, I mean, Zeta will be in tatters.
Depp actually coming across now, but then he's going to try and act upon, oh, well, I was going to say a flash from Crow, but with that molly going down, going to prevent any progress through CT. It's a double stack towards elbow.
But this late mid play as well.
Look how disconnected Les is.
Super ratty position. The timing should be fantastic for it as well. Lovely work from Les, very heads up, keeping control of the longer flank, but also the TP on audio cue. Now, on the other side of things, though, Zeta did finally get a bit of success. Crow to take down Sadak, and the burst towards the site. One favourable kill, but it's instantaneously traded back. And again, the last 2 players for Zeta already tagged up, and the time being purchased perfectly. And Laz looking good at it, but still he's got to get a move on. Pancada just playing the time here, slipping away towards long. Flash gonna come out, does not quite find him. They're running out of time, and they're running out of options here, Mike. It's just Laz alive, and it does not matter. Loud, with just keys to the castle there. Walking straight on in through hookah, pick on towards site, game on.
And again, just a little caution shown on the side of Zeta as well. As soon as that first player falls, Aspas finds the first blood, and again, the Trailblazer goes through, but there's no real way for them to slow this down. I mean, the paint shell obviously stops things coming out of that smoke from CT. The molly to then follow up on that. Zeta just don't have a lot of options in this retake, to be honest with you. Unless it comes from, you know, Crow and Depp making use of that Bladestorm. Almost locked down before the Spike's even making his way onto site. And bear in mind, Spike was not committed until Aspas had all this free space.
Yes,
because there was no re-challenge, that's when the information's relayed.
I don't think they even expected to have that much success, to be fair. And if he keeps getting away with this, it will command that someone from Zeta fills that void now. They have to respect this. Dangerous games being played.
Yeah, lads, nearly losing his life there. Unfortunately, Ten's painter actually bounces across to the left. So that got forced into that position, but the pre-fire will remove him.
That would look good today. I'm going to be honest. I'm a bit... It's very early in the game, but the indicators I'm seeing from Loud already really very, very, very telling. But Zeta, not much of a purchase this time. It is just odds and ends, so you know, take it for what it's worth. Pro already tagged up, gonna switch things out. And so much information revealed. This is just Zeta have no way in. There's not even a chance of chip damage just yet. No, not at all. Loud taking it to him. This is aggression. This is confidence, but it's not overdoing it. There's a little bit of temper to it. I like this so far. Sarsi can't adjust in time, and SugarZero's giving himself a chance. Slim, and Loud aren't letting him take space. Look at this double stack walking through. He gets the one. The spacing's not great. Aspas is there now, costing them 3 lives. Sure, round on the board regardless.
A decent buffer though in terms of the finances. This is the one that Loud can build a little bit of momentum behind. Ultimate's coming online though for Zeta. There's an opener again with 10 just showing his positioning. Heads up pre-fire here to catch him. Yeah, actually on the other side of things, Loud have everything but the showstopper now. And this is the round that you might choose to invest a little bit. I mean, if required. It does have the operator online now. He's rewarded. He's trying to get ahead of this wall as well, which Loud have used a couple of times just to creep up and try and play contact off of.
See how he fares here. It's a gamble. Now he's going to know obviously Fade is there. Waits for it as long as he could. Does eventually have to give up the angle. So once again, the early work is being achieved here. Dice these rounds up into a couple of moments. The shower fight, the fight towards short, the fights on towards long. This time a little bit of a switch up here. Laz committed towards the TP side and has support from Crow.
Curious to see here, actually, if this is a contact playoff. Laz's confirmation with a flash, maybe? Crow's got the fault line set up.
It's a gamble, though, and the timing. Laz makes a meal of it. I'm going to be honest, that doesn't look good. And now the pressure's going to start mounting, coming in as well. Look who's flying on in! Aspas! Barely got his feet on the ground before he was left for dead. And now we're down to a 4v3. SugarZero, 10, and Dep still standing. With the plants in and the ults have already come out. You can see Sussy as well, all ready to go if they need it. No threats shown just yet. SugarZero warded away from CT. Is there any way back in?
You can already see as well, Pancada disconnected with this orbital strike, and there's no flank coming through, so the fact that the clock has run down this much already, Pancada just finds a blind one. 10 will fall. That should be the round done now, whether or not even these weapons are able to be saved. As Loud try and challenge back through spawn. The operator, the one you ultimately want him to hold on to, but the flash is good.
Yeah, he's going to be hunted, and he's gone. Operator removed. Loud, I've got to say, it felt like it was all banking on long there, Mike.
Yeah, just to note one thing as well, Sadak actually puts a crucial flash to prevent Crow from even following up on his fault line.
Mike, you don't walk in this map with this composition and then play it out in any standard fashion. You simply can't do it. I need to see them stand up to the challenge here. Early horn towards long to ensure that no one's crossed over towards that TP side. The flash to follow will now note 10. But the switch up on the side, you can already see it in a fast rotation being considered. They're pulling early.
And I mean, it's the same. You look at the minimap, it's a carbon copy. Spike not committed yet. This is just the early probe from Loud. And it's actually burning up so much util from Zeta's composition.
Look at this, really now. And they actually clear it. I like the commitment finally from 10. At least they're going to try and get value for all the utility committed and check on this. But they maybe overextend. Maybe they get a little hungry for it, but Dep still want to keep this in check. Good trades for V3. Finally advantage.
Great timing on the Seekers as well. For Laz to put that out then and just confirm that. Actually does find Pancada on the back of it. So great work from Laz, actually anchoring a side, finds the second onto Les as well.
You could not ask for greater value from Laz, standing tall on his own here. Finally gets taken down by Sassy, but look at these targets, so many, and eventually the one on the left will probably be his downfall. If Dep dares to step further forward, but no. With 38 seconds, what does Sassy do? So much utility still to play with. A little bit of time, but not a lot. Just going around towards
30 seconds left.
Now, eventually 10 will turn.
I was going to say, where's that internal clock actually going to...
The second hand ticks and he turns, and now Sassy, he'd have to really outplay 10 here, and he's done just that, clean enough. 18 seconds, going to be able to clear close. Back of the box as well. Breach utility comes in. Buying precious seconds, 10 now remaining. Horn goes up. Does he get anything for it? Well, he knows one, but the cross is being watched, and he predicts it, but the time is dwindling, and as are the bullets in the mag. Crow gets him, and, well, finally, Zeta hold on. But Mike, talk me through that round, because there's some differences here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is the sort of thing I'm talking about. Zeta actually scrambled to take this fight on B side. As soon as contact's found, or at least there's presence shown on the other side, immediately 2 players sent across. And talking about the lack of an anchor, Laz still fulfilling that role here. Like I said, perfect timing on the Seekers to actually identify that split coming through from showers. Isolates Pancada immediately, less actually the freebie on the second. So great play there. And again, I love the commitment. As soon as they come through, the fault line's there. It's a hard clearance this time around. Yep. A little bit safer, playing a bit deeper in garden actually, but that's the sort of thing we want to see from Zeta. Actually back on this operator, same position again. He's pressured off.
I thought he'd have gone away with that, but you can see Zeta still trying to tend for this. Aspas outdone. Huge impact again and no trade available. That's a freebie. You can fall back from that. I like this play coming out from Zeta. This is a perfect adjustment.
Big tick in the box as well, identifying that more often than not, it's Aspas outside here. It's just a double swing from Hooker.
Here.
To remove him from that position.
Here.
An early advantage actually for Zeta in this round.
I've got your trail.
Seekers on the other side going to come out. That's going to give Dep a little bit of timing to play with. Not too much anymore. This is precarious. Why are you out in the open? Less once and he gets it. Clutches down Dep. Now the ult going to come through as well. Buy a couple more seconds and maybe a little bit of an overreach there. Sussy going to punish Crow. Blast on the trade. Sadek on the swing. Can't get to the back of the site. So hyper aware of it. It's time to run. Pull the plug and get out of there. But Pancada, can you just time? Oh
He's got an operator, so if he gets pinched here.
They're on the TP. He's still alive, but only for a second. And now it's Sassy in a 1v3. Maybe a little more feasible this time. Horn back up in 4. He needs 1 for free. And to be able to keep his life, he needs no trade. Now the paranoia is starting to build. Surely he knows there's going to be 2 hit. The timing on this utility, it's got to be, yeah, he's got to know now. The flash goes in, doesn't find it. Spots 1, gets 1. The second, the spray, not good enough. 10 keeps Zeta in this. I think they want that operator. Going to go back for that. But Zeta are answering back. Mike, we wanted aggression. We wanted considered rotations. We are getting it.
Absolutely. And again, it's a decisiveness here coming out of Hooker, isolating Aspas. Whether or not Loud are actually going to draw an extra player now, just to be conscious of this. This is the sort of thing, we're getting to the point of the half now where actually Zeta probably feeling as if they can disrupt a little bit on these defensive rounds. We're not allowed actually now lead heavier towards a single site in terms of orienting maybe an execute. Now actually, the economy's starting to dwindle, but Loud, a little bit of an offer. Showstopper available for Aspas in 1. Zeta actually tapped out now, but Laz and Sugar Zero back on.
I'm looking at Dep right here. I wonder if he commits a little bit deeper to this. They are at least going to prop up 10. Post him in towards the corner. He's going further, and that's going to be a shoulder shown, but he needs to respect this and back away. What does 10 do with this information now? Does he stick around longer, or does he respect this? You noted there could be even a heavier stack, and there is, leaving just 1 towards that B site.
Interesting thing, actually, Aspas not reacting upon that. The smoke going to slow things down, definitely in Hooker, but Dep and Crow in tandem make their way back towards B, anticipating Loud leaning back in this direction. Like I said, still no commitment from the spike. So Loud are just anticipating aggression, looking for this opening engagement, but finally stacking up now. Well, no, actually, Sassy's going to post the Nightfall through here.
Here.
I mean, Aspas has still got double satchel here, so he could get himself onto site.
The timing of the flash. Dep has nowhere to go. He has to stand and fight this for now. Going to dip himself in towards the smoke and try and maybe depend on his teammates for a second. But Aspas did still have that pain shell. Going to isolate Crow. Trade comes out. Dep still standing.
Oh my God.
Dep still fighting. Huge pick towards Sussy. And they're holding in the front lines. Unbelievable. And Sadak's getting surrounded. He's got a player behind him as well. Sadak has nowhere to back to. He has to take the fight now. Oh, he tries to go for 10, but he's outdone him. And this is stabilizing work for Zeta. They needed this. This is exactly what the doctor ordered.
Beautiful adjustment from them. And being happy here to send both across after initially not being rewarded for the aggression on A short. They come through, and like I said, Dep and Crow getting themselves towards the site where actually this utility can come to fruition.
Nice.
Really, really well played.
Beautifully played. It's forced the timeout allowed. Look at this, like, even the purchase isn't brilliant. You're going to have, what, 2 sheriffs coming through here with the light armor as well. Really only Sassy on the decent buy. On the other side, look at the aggression again. Switch up this time. Going to post Dep towards long.
So many different looks.
Yeah, and brought into position by the flash too. So again, it's not without intent. Prowler goes through. Analyst desk getting rowdy down there.
Yeah.
Now Spas forced off with the flash.
Launching smoke.
And Loud trying to get at least a read of the game. As it stands, filtering back towards that A site.
The setup this time around, much earlier for Loud to collapse into this formation. This time around, actually, the fault line and the orbital strike, gambling on finding something with that stun. Smoke behind it. Now, actually, the clock becomes a little bit of a concern.
Certainly does. Walking in blind to this Laz going to be standing. Okay, just a shot in the dark. Fair enough. Seeker's going to come out. That confirms everything. He goes back in. A little brazen for my taste into this, but 10 considering maybe taking the space into a shower, ensure some safety here because there's so much pressure coming through on short. 25 seconds, going to try some buy at least a little bit of time, but the Molly not going to really deny too much. Plant's now in. 10's position will at least keep some space here. This post plant won't be all that comfortable.
It really isn't, but even numbers at least. Not a lot of utility to work with as well on the side of Loud. Crow just about got his fault line back up. Tap on the spike. Actually doesn't even draw a peak just yet.
10? 10 just flew in, and Pancada makes light work of 2, leaving it all down to depth. Where'd you find a fair fight here? You just don't.
No, back away. Try and hold on to this operator.
Yep.
Again, the economy comfortable enough, but don't really want to be giving this over to Loud as well, especially with some of these rounds playing out a little slower than anticipated. Nice conversion. The 10 just a little desperate to get ahead of that, and again, no flash to come through. There's not really much to work off there. The fault line being the only thing to put into that retake. A slower approach, but like I said, it felt a little awkward. The smoke goes up and now completely freeze almost. Yeah. And that's to the point where they got there with, what, 1:05 on the clock, and it's just the fault line, the orbital strike, the smoke behind it that buys basically 25, 30 seconds.
Now, going forward, though, at 5-6, is the first answer back for Loud. It was those 3 that was strung together by Zeta that we were quite impressed with those adjustments because the scoreline was going to look quite drastic. The scoreline's actually still pretty good for Loud, you've got to say. Whichever way this ends, just purely from the gun rounds alone. But at this point, let's see what they've got here. Way higher pressure building towards the B side. Instantly, Zeta have to respect this. They've already forced back towards L, but they do not have enough to fight towards the site here. Aspas out. Site controlled. Spike should be able to be planted pretty much uncontested. There it is, time on their side. Loud just picking up pace here. This is much different.
Actually, a double flank coming through here. It's Depp and 10. Les is going to have his hands full here. Actually spots it out. Depp goes for the peak, but tagged up. 10 there to pick up the slack on the other side. That's actually both snake bites removed. Whether or not Les was going to rely on those in his post plant.
The gap's getting closed as well. 10 going to be here on the doorstep, knocking on the door. Pancada answers it, greets it with a smile, no problems there.
He's got his orbital strike.
Another chance, and you're right, another key tool ready to go if required. And Deb going to do everything he can. And can he find Sadak? The bomb flash is so good, he sends it to the dark.
He's got a strike!
He flies in! And he gets flown out. Sadak holds a nerve, and honestly, Loud. Big half here, 7-5. A little bit of correction came in for Zeta there, but overall, Loud looked good.
Absolutely, but again, credit where credit's due. Zeta making this composition work in a couple of these key rounds in terms of the economy, in terms of the timeline. Just really, really great work from them. I'm excited to see them.
The attacking side is meant to look good. Surely they should be able to dip into that now, right? This should be their strong suit, even though I was a little worried about their attack in the previous series that they played against Loud. I
think I have the same concerns, and it's once we get to the point where that plant comes through, if Loud opt for a deeper hold, actually they win out in the utility game, right? Hold that thought for a moment, because Zeta are straight up long here. It's a double stack in hookah. Sugar Zero will be identified on the outside of this. He's got to slip away, but he's actually marked here. He's going to have a lot of pressure coming through. Sassy finds the kill.
Yeah, he hunted him down. There was no escape from that. And with the plant now down, time good, but the positions, it's almost like a flip. Just spin it around. Laz, the timing's everything on this. Who gets it? Okay, spots maybe 2 there, I'm pretty sure. Flash comes in, going to buy some time. Needs to fall away and actually leaves Depp to take up that mantle. Depp's still unfazed by this. Can get a little aggressive, the follow-up flash.
Utility.
So much utility, but no intent behind it yet. Pitch dealt with. Laz turns, takes down Sassy. Zeta holding the line. And Laz will not relent. Gorgeous work from Laz.
Wow.
Brilliant. between those two, one to hold long, one turns around, catching the push out of Hookah. That could have all fallen to pieces, and it didn't.
I mean, you see the sorts of problems that Zeta have to deal with, right? If they can get the plant, what's difficult is maintaining control, right?
Yeah.
But they actually weather the storm. All of this utility comes through. You notice all it takes is a fault line. There's nobody there to capitalize on the flash, the paint shell, the trailblazer. There's just no space gained on that retake.
Big round for Laz. Confidence builder there. Very aggressive start. You're going to be feeling yourself after that. And this could close the scoreline right back up. 7 apiece if they convert here. And it looks likely considering the purchase that will be obviously alongside Loud. So
And the setup.
yeah, hey, it's a gamble. It is what it is. Towards the side they go. Should be pretty much a free plant. Looking towards the timing on Hookah, maybe. They get caught out on that. 10. Going to be tried to be closed down on, but actually Crow, really nice support system there. Making sure there's no easy fight. And sit down CT, it's not pretty. It's not pretty, gets the job done, Michael.
I think you thought you had a Spectre for a moment there, but it's the Prime Gaming flawless here in round 2. 5 alive. Carry across all this inventory and good ultimate progress early on for 2 people, Depp and Crow. You want to see actually in terms of... Okay. Once in the highlight reel.
They loved it.
The fans are on their feet. But yeah, just seeing the Rolling Thunder coming close, and obviously the Blade Stormers are actually potential to have this online for the next. Maybe to make use actually if they win this out, lose a couple of weapons. Just a couple of tools to offset that purchase. Zeta fancying their chances at B once again. We're not allowed to be able to this early on adjust and find some sense of security here. But Sadak to take first contact. He's actually peeking way ahead of the archway.
Devs have to get out of there, but 10 quickly to the case. Less with the trade though, so no quick springboard towards the site. He has to fall away though. Will concede at least site control. You can see that deeper prowler coming out. They're trying to get that information on the other side. But the site is available. Quick TP taken, and Aspas going to take Sugar Zero's life. That's a little bit of this viability in half, but you're right. Does Aspas consider this timing? He was thinking about it because he noted the TP was taken earlier, but it's all a matter of moments. Spike now down, and Laz looking towards CT, and the timing's great. Zeta find 2 in combination on opposing sides of this post plant and bring it back to a favorable situation. HP not pretty though. Depp and Laz low.
We have to fight this one back through actually. Depp position behind here, and now just can't find any peaks. Zeta not giving anything away. Want to hold on to this post plant as best they can. Sassy and Pancada both out now. The first falls. The trade comes through. Last player, Depp, though. He's very low HP, 22.
What does he do with this? Sassy facing his fear. He's holding it
my
down.
God.
He's not going to stop Sassy. Unbelievable. Taking his life in the end as well. And that's brutal for Zeta. That could have been a big round to pull this one right back forward.
But a great positive to see. Oh, we're talking about commitment with this composition. Immediately, they're looking to dive on that first contact. Can't remember who it was that got punished, I believe. Sad hack towards long on guarded. Immediately, as soon as that contact comes through, they're throwing bodies on to get that first blood.
And it's a burden they have to bear throughout this game, though. You choose this sort of composition, you cannot ever rest on your laurels. You have to be right back into the action. And well...
But look at the next one, though.
I mean, yeah. Who won the last?
On the side of Loud, actually. Not looking pretty at all. 1 rifle, a shorty, a sheriff, a frenzy.
God.
Expected to round things out. The Blade Storm online here. The Seekers as well. Again, Zeta lean heavily towards Fountain. This is exactly what I'm talking about. There's 4 people here looking to pressure Sadak on long. He's going to get caught by the exact same fault line once again, Lauren.
Depp's got in, and you're absolutely right. He does get caught. They've sliced this map up, and the site's theirs. Depp's going to almost overdo this. He wants to hold CT, but that smoke will at least keep Loud safe for a second as they emerge from the smoke. Depp caught napping. Not good at all. Losing out to a frenzy, but 10 right on the case. Aggression brimming. And this purchase was not pretty for Loud. All function and no form. But this weapon deadly as ever. 45 HP though, not much to play with here. Gonna maybe clear towards top of B long. But any further would be highly unlikely.
Yeah, even here, Sassy's rifle recovered from the previous. Zeta are actually going to be the ones to boom out of this in terms of holding on to what they've got. Sugar Zero and Depp actually at 4,200 after the spike plant comes through. Zeta going to be looking very healthy here. Actually, the next purchase could break Loud's bank, honestly.
See where we go. See how it looks. I'm impressed so far. I think watching back the initial game with Zeta, I was worried about the aggression, the spacing, the timing, and finding confidence in a game like this when you've already lost to this opponent in a couple of very key areas. Seeing them turn it back here already, very, very much a tick in the box for me.
Losing to them though, but playing with no fear, right?
Yes.
Committing behind some of this, the few bits of utility they've got to do here is brilliant to see.
Full intent.
Actually, on the flip side of that, Sadak, as he learnt his lesson now, this hold on B long has been concerning, to say the least. Like I said, and there's so many bodies to collapse on it. This time around, doesn't want to die to that same fault line. And for the first time, actually, Zeta looking to explore elsewhere on the map. So you look for what this mid-round looks like for Loud, actually. Trailblazer dealt with outside hooker, so probably going to keep 3 players towards B. But presence shown on both sides of the map here. Sassy actually picked off a little ahead of the curve here.
Huge opener, and you can see Pancada just in panic mode, has to try and slip away from this. You probably have to fall all the way to CT here. Zeta have got the site. Crow's going to get the plant down. There's 4 to try and play back in. What do we have? One smoke, ult. Actually, a little bit of utility still left with Loud, so they do have the option to try and work this one back in. There's the ult going to come down, but you can already note it. Zeta sitting deep
wise
to this.
to it. Very wise to it. I think they've seen that that's up and they don't want to prioritize the Lamb Soul. Actually, the swing from Depp is no good. Punished by Sadak.
Yeah, but 10's still here, and 10 likes to turn it up. Turns it only into 1 kill. Quick trade comes out. Pancada still stands, and we got a 3v3. Let's look at those post-plant positions. Any late-game utility. Crow still has a little bit to bring into play. Notes the spike is no longer being committed to. The Molly's in. Crow's going to try and fight this one out, but it's all down to Sugar Zero.
The Molly's won the round.
At the time, they don't have it. They got to back away. TP out. Zeta taking the lead here.
Wow. Just comes down to the one piece of utility. It's something we keep harping on, but Zeta use it to convert this post plant. And the reason behind that is this is just held by 2 members allowed. One of them dies. Pancada, faced with a lose-lose situation in that. Has to back away, try and make use of his orbital strike. But like I said, great awareness from Zeta of exactly how to play this post plant. 0 risk from the orbital strike.
Love that awareness in pressure situations, though. Easy to make a couple of mistakes here and there, lose that little bit of focus in those moments.
The other thing as well, we're not seeing Zeta completely dive the backlines in these post plants, right?
No,
they're not getting overzealous. They're happy to actually slip back into a side hold, but
Hold on.
that's it so quickly.
Yeah, the decay's there as well. He's got to be really careful, just trying to keep his life. And actually, Aspas comes out the worst in this, down to 45, and somehow 10's in. A little bit of utility now committed, but it's Sugar Zero to find Aspas. And now look at the positioning. Zeta once again stranglehold on this map. The purchase was pretty brutal coming in, and there's the response though. Orbital strike on the other side, now invested. You see the close coming in, a bit of a wrap here as well, but look at the 2 players deep towards short. That's Laz and Depp, and are they aware of this? Absolutely now.
Laz is posted for it as well.
Yep, waiting for it. It's not an easy way back in now. Nightfall going to come down, but they need to start this one fast. Good work, but a quick trade. And the better shot from Sadak comes out. Depp and 10 in unison. Sadak has no way in. Look at these positions. Still has a flash. Seek has plenty to play with, but it all feels irrelevant to outcome. As the time dwindles, he's trying to at least cause some casualties. A quick flash over the top, but he is getting out of there. It's going to be double digits for Zeta. And considering we questioned their attacking side, we questioned the composition, they have come out looking damn good.
Playing it to perfection, though. And actually, just to note as well, the Nightfall comes through so late there from Sassy.
Yeah.
That there's almost not an awful...
Can't close into it, I feel.
Exactly. Laz, not really noted, but... Wow, I'm really impressed with Zeta so far here on Bind. And actually, even to say, Loud are keeping this within 2 rounds. Interesting to see, actually, Depp is 4-0 on first duel so far. And that's the win condition. You see the double duel...
Gone down. As you said, 5-1 now.
It's interesting to see as well, with how much pressure they felt on B Long, the Viper's Pit's going to be invested here off the rip. Again, because it's been such a pressure point for Zeta.
And
look at the backstab.
He's found another way in 10.
Immediately.
Unleashing straight to CT, overcooks it a little towards Pancada. But that's not even where they're going. They're still looking towards A. Depp striding in, and now there's got to be an answer. There has to be some stopping power coming through from Aspas potentially, or that later position kicking in for Sassy over towards Shower. Has the Haunt still to invest if he needs it. The plant just tapped, not committed, and the fight comes out. He draws out Sassy into the fight. Crow wins that, and now player advantage.
See Pancala the one to find that, so no showstopper just yet, but it's online now. Actually immediately wants to rip it out. Aspas will find the one.
Down A.
This lad's now in a 1v2. Actually the flank coming through. Does he consider this?
When's he turn? Does he ever turn? He does.
He's turned the wrong way.
Him. He has no idea where Les was coming from. A shot in the dark and he goes astray. Loud. After what could have been a horrific start, that entry coming in, flying in, clearing sight, but the overpush towards CT kind of gave it away. But I don't blame him for trying it.
You can't fault it. The Viper's pit gets invested here. You got to assume there's some space between the sites in terms of the setup, in terms of when that rotation is going to come through. So actually really unlucky for 10 not to get much deeper spawn control. And then at that point, Les is really feeling the pressure.
Yeah.
But I love it. It's instantaneous decision making from Zeta. They need to be. They can't afford to, slow play these rounds out. Especially with Loud definitely feeling the heat here in the second half. They have to be the ones to ultimately alter the outcome here. As I say that, Zeta will dial it back a little bit. Maybe wanted to bait a little bit off Sadak's flashes on long. And an attempt at denying some information here, and that's key. The Trailblazer got nothing. The second flash, though, will catch Fountain.
Not enough to pull a rotation, though. Still 3 players dedicated towards A.
Zeta are basically doing the same thing, but 30, 40 seconds later in the round.
Yeah.
And it's just a Prowler. All 3 players are rotating off A now.
Well, they had contact on short and contact coming in through long as well, so it makes perfect sense. 10, though, going to be the first one forward, trying to make them hemorrhage players, and he does. Finds another. His entry work has been sublime. The follow-up not so good. Les gets the better, and the spike's not down yet, so this is not as safe as they'd like it to be, but the plant going to come through. And Crow's going to hold on to this, and it looks like Loud want to fight back right now. Paint shell towards the site. He's got a swing. Can he make anything of his life? No. And it's just a brutal battle, and Loud come out on top of this. Leaving Sugar Zero in a 1v4. The spike scene just being diffused in front of his face. There's nothing to say. It's 10-10. Louder back in the game.
I think the decision-making coming out of the timeout is first time you see somebody, let's send everybody there. Clear the site, even prevent the plant from coming through. Just make sure that they can swing control back in their favor. Actually, it's going to force the timeout right back from Zeta as well, because it's an awkward time. And we were talking about Zeta winning a buy round and ultimately looking as if they might go to map point. Now it's tied up 10 apiece. And with the funds here, it's going to be a Blade Storm coming in. Crow does have the Rolling Thunder, so an opportunity to make something work here. It's not going to be a full purchase. What a way for this to swing back through as well.
Credit to Loud being able to pull this one back off, because I was a little worried they're out of this game.
I mean, they were getting slapped about for the first 5 rounds.
Absolute thrashing in the first few, but stabilized here at a critical time for themselves. Now, the answer for them has been found, at least to get to this point. The question then now sits with Zeta. What do you have to bring out? Is there more depth to this? Is there more maybe on-the-fly calling? Is there a bit of mid-routing to bring out here? Have you learned any sort of traits that you can potentially abuse here or get away with? So that's what I'm looking at coming out of this timeout. But again, with this purchase, we'll see the commitment off the back around it, and that's going to be the relatively telling part, is do they commit everything behind it as well? Or at least a fair amount.
And almost you're thinking, in this round, you want to hold on to this Rolling Thunder for the buy round.
Yes.
Feels a little awkward to pin it on a lesser purchase. It's going to be a rifle coming. I'm just seeing exactly where Zeta end up here. 10 actually buys a rifle down to 600 credits.
Get out of my way!
And no alteration this time around. Lad's actually a little disconnected here. We're playing outside showers, but immediately the flash from A site can cause a trade out of positions. Pancala actually picks up the backside of A site now, and I'm assuming Sadak's come across here to make use of that flash, but 10 punished immediately. Rifle recovered though, but it's Depp with the Blade Storm that picked it up.
Still looking at where they find entry to this. Steps in, gets towards site. Keep in mind where Laz is in all of this.
No rotation yet.
No.
Happy to give away the plant, potentially?
It feels like they've nothing to fight back into it with, so they're going to have to abscond from fighting towards site. late Prowler comes in, but the late Lurk, I wonder on the timing of this. Laz could potentially find two of these plays if he gets the timing right, maybe not. At this point, he's going to be too late to this, going to hit towards long. Depth's now gone as is Sugar Zero. Loud, composure is key and keeping poised in this. No stress just yet, and the last one alive is Laz. And with zero vision on the spike, so little chance at this. And the bodyguards are on duty. Loud not taking chances. 5 standing. Perfect work from them. And just didn't look phased in that round.
No, and they're sitting much deeper on these sides. Now almost anticipating Zeta, replicating what they were able to in the first few rounds. And immediately here, even after creating the man advantage, they show a lot of respect to Zeta. They actually back away and wait till they have massive numbers advantage, even throwing the Seekers out here. That's something that you could argue with this matchup is quite surprising. I think that's actually dictated by how the first half went.
I think you're absolutely on the money with that. Now, this is the round that the timeout potentially should have been for if you're Zeta. This is the one you've got all your adjustments in mind with. Let's see what they've got here at 10 to 11. Loud on the verge. Stringing together rounds in the final hours of the first map. What does Zeta have to bring out now?
Slight pace changes towards A this time around. 3 players sent down B long, past Fountain, racing towards Market already. I mean, Laz is going to have his hands full here.
Laz, no! The beating heart of this team, Laz will not relent, goes back in for more, the flash to go as well. Laz is trying to lock this one down, leaving Aspas, Les and Pancada reeling off the back of this one now, isolated over towards T side, 2 tucks towards CT that can't make it back in now. And Laz can sit on this. The rest of Loud needs to be doing the heavy lifting here to try and find their way back in the timing. No, this could be heartbreak. Laz goes back and checks. Paint shell now committed. Laz has to fall off this. Responds with the flash to try and slow down the roll. Investment of utility. Aspas is drawing the attention. The rest of Loud are closing in, but Laz, heart still beating, still finding the kill. That's 3 this round, leaving just Les alive. And Zeta, I can't believe it. They might be pulling this one back to 11-11. It looks likely. Les can give it a try. He can try and catch him on the way out, and Crow says no. It's 11-11, Mike. It's closed up again.
I mean, switch him off the agent, but he's still fulfilling the exact same role. Delivering for Zeta there, finding 2 out of the 3 flanking players from now. This is absolutely crucial. And the key thing as well is, throws the Seekers out, maybe a little bit of an over-investment, but still buys so much time. He puts the pressure right back on Loud, which are only 2 on the other side of the map. There's not an awful lot you do. This is Laz single-handedly making sure they still have favorable numbers on site. Fantastic work from him.
But they're not out of the woods just yet. Bear in mind, Loud were stringing together rounds. Those 3 rounds look gorgeous with them. And now, perfect implementation of the Sniper's Pit. Les could not have been in a better position for this one so far. You know, the...
Going exploring elsewhere, though.
Does Zeta even consider this? Do they clear back through this? They look quite meticulous in approach. They're being cautious, and rightly so. Let's see how well they clear back through here.
Problem being, if they find contact, the Rolling Thunder can be posted here immediately. Well, Sugar Zero is going to actually does show a little bit of discipline here.
Wow.
You can see immediately, actually, Crow considering it, but...
The forethought to do that is wonderful. And do they... Yeah, they're picking up the pace off the back!
They catch a Sassy! Oh my god.
He almost had him dead to rights. Aspas, Sassy and Pancada now sweating bullets on the side until they commit to the back of this Aspas. He's got the wall in front of him, does get caught, gets thrown up. Yes! They've just traded! Sugar Zero going to take down Sassy, but there's still...
Oh my
someone
god!
Among Us here! Aspas, how are you like? Oh my god! Aspas! How has he found this many kills here? And he's gotten away with his life! Gone out, he finally goes down! Still doing damage in a 2v3! Dep needs a miracle now! Sugar Zero, 30 HP, Pancada's there, it's surely gonna be 12! Dep, do you have it in you? 20 seconds, 3 to find! And Aspas just murdered your team! He's being surrounded, he can hear the steps, he can see the players. Loud gonna make it to 12. How did Aspas do that?
I actually think they clash into each other mid-air. And then somehow Aspas, because he's traded places, but he's gone into the smoke where Zeta are stacked behind.
Yep.
What a ridiculous play.
Show me this.
Oh my god. I mean, Crow's actually blinded, backing away, backpedaling here. This kill,
gosh.
then the showstopper to come through. Absolute heroics from Aspas. You can see as well the difference. Yeah, Sassy, absolutely mind blown.
Take them when you get them. They're few and far between those sort of rounds, but what a time for it to hit for Loud. 12 now on the board. Map 1 not done yet, but looking better, and Zeta once again picking themselves up, trying to have this aggressive approach, and they have the players now relatively deep, but Loud are so prepared for this depth, and 10 go down. They've lost their front line completely. And this is where the issues really start to mount. The spike left loose, and Les filling that gap. Static by his side. Zeta now down to just one, and Laz is dead and buried. Loud pick up map 1 here, and in some fashion.
In the blink of an eye, it's all over.
Wow.
Again, we had to see that pace from Zeta the last few rounds, indicative of how we expected them to play this, but Loud, man, recovering when it mattered most. Like I said, it come back to that one round where Zeta ultimately, by themselves, obviously with the side half, we never usually talk about this too heavily, but Zeta need to do exactly the same thing. And like I said, with Loud having an uncharacteristic performance, can they repeat that? Well, we're going to see a lot of set pieces here on the defense to counter that, at least not here in the pistol round. Very passive setup on both sides, actually. Loud awaiting contact somewhere on the map. I think actually that's the trend set from Bind that
It was.
Loud are very conscious of.
And I don't think it's bad to be cautious. You invest 20 seconds or so. It's perfectly fine. You can see a little mid setup here. Pop flash, potentially, for Sugar Zero. And that's waiting for it, but for now, you can already see them navigating towards short. The spike is still left over towards that deeper side of B, so
Here.
does eventually start to test Zeta's discipline here to not start over exploring, but a great knife going to reveal 2 of the players here dedicated and posted towards mid.
Interesting to see, actually, Sugar Zero and Laz both making the decision on the back of that
Gamble.
information to gamble stack towards A, and it's looking as if it's the right decision. It's going to be an absolute bloodbath here for the pistol. The audio cues noted on the other side as well.
Here's the commitment. First real contact found. Laz up by
30 seconds
Heaven.
left.
Depp going to be listening to all of this. Notes. Plenty of players on the cross, but only going to get one. Aspas goes down, but the plant can be tapped. Sugar Zero trying to fill the void for the trade to come out, and it is a brutal bloodbath. Laz, the last one standing. And Zeta off to a great start here.
Even a shock dart kill in the mix there from Crow. Great crunch from Zeta. As soon as that pressure comes onto site, actually as soon as Depp loses his life, Zeta dial up the pace a little bit. I'm happy to actually, even there with one player committed towards that spike plant, make sure that they can take these engagements as quickly as possible. So confidence here, especially on the back of that knife, noting both players. And actually immediately they go for that gamble stack. They're fully confident 10 can hold down the fort on B site.
Scanning ahead.
That'll bring 3 sheriffs to the party here in round 2. The deeper hold once again on B side. And we'll be curious to see actually how much 10's going to float around the map, where he's going to play, if that does actually enable any defensive aggression on the side of Zeta.
Initial look towards that A site, but no follow-up to this for Loud. Taking the tour of the map, picking the spike back up, smoke towards mid. We might just see 10 set up and solo hold tested. Pretty telling after map 1, or sorry, excuse me, round 1, that they're happy to leave a lot in this man's hands, considering how many players were on A so swiftly. Tommy, first one to really note the potential, but it is a split. It's a 3-2 split towards the B site. Let's see what you got, 10. Does have help here, he's not alone. Crow by his side. Invest some utility, but Pancada going to step forward. 10, good for one. That's Pancada going. Crow still standing, but it's mayhem. But Laz just barrels onto the site, and it is an absolute shutdown for standing. And that, well, they test the hold, I guess, and 10 passes.
Absolutely, it's crucial as well the split comes through, and that's what deals with the turret. So they don't really have that, you know, concrete information that the push is coming through from main. Yeah, so even the Nano Swarm coming through here, finding the kill onto Pancada. Just no comfortable opening engagement for Loud to find that. Great discipline shown by Zeta. Actually rewarded for it here to come into round 3. Bulldog, 3 Spectres and the Sheriff. Laz already having a fantastic start here, 5-0. Loud actually leaning pretty heavily towards us. Actually, the reveal goes up, but Aspas finds Depp inside that one-way. A very early advantage here. Let's see what Loud do with this.
Bonus round for Zeta, so trying to make something happen. Take a chance, take a risk. All that happens, Loud gonna take the site. Zeta looking to do some chip damage. Already gonna have to know that adjustment going forward as Pancada is gonna find Laz, so far so good. No real threats found in this bonus for Zeta, unable to do too much. And Loud looking clean. This is really good for themselves. Looks like you're gonna work it out with 5 rifles, and they do. Flawless here, the Prime Gaming flawless in the round 3. So Loud, no messing around once they got those rifles on deck.
Oh, absolutely. Got to keep 5 alive, and that's actually getting closer and closer to that lockdown. The other side, I think Laz won off the null command, but great early pick, and Loud, they're not barreling towards sight on the back of that. Showing restraint. Actually a big boon to the economy, actually. I think maybe 1 or 2 shields purchased on the back of that. On the flip side, just 1 light shield for 10. That's close. I don't see any gaps in the utility here, so but Zeta tapped out after that.
Any early information found? Looking to see when this knife gets invested.
That's actually, yeah.
Amount, yeah.
I was going to say, just pondering when to invest it, but actually does
Only
catch
1.
Sassy ahead of the drone, but you're right. It is only 1. And there's 4 other members of Loud stacked behind that. A double hold towards short as well, so Sugar Zero is really going to be tested here. But noted, he's actually noted on the drone. I think he gets spammed a little bit through the smoke.
Oh, Sugar Zero alive. He's scrambling for cover. He's scrambling for any semblance of safety, but he stays alive. And Aspas on the side, though. Going to make light work of depth, so that's something. There's so many rotations here early on. There's still so much to break down, and Aspas, he's just a blunt object and is slicing through them somehow. 3 kills already. Sugar Zero still standing. Surprisingly tucked towards hell, but it feels like a matter of time until he's taken out of his position. What? He just leans into the smoke, brings it back to a 2v2. The spike's on the move. Pancada ain't sticking around. Does he dare go back to this? They don't quite. Well, they're going to know 10's near enough bite with this. Do they commit off the back? Oh, 10!
Beautiful.
Quick as lightning to take down less. And that is the go signal. Pancada wants nothing to do with that, but he's only got 10 seconds to get here. He's got to get a wiggle on
10
now.
seconds left.
We get the plant, but I mean, 10's going to be able to close the gap. A smoke coming back up in 7 seconds. If he can get this one way towards stairs, he actually opts to come back towards lane here. And 10 cautious of Pancada playing this a little more aggressive. Actually, Pancada gives it. He comes out of that with 36 HP.
10's surely coming off the better in this one. A tap on the spike. Alarmbot to the left. 6 bullets left in the mag. Panic ensuing now. Pancada closing in, and they just they evade each other. 10 almost had him, but Pancada somehow so cool under that pressure. That felt like it was Zeta's round then.
Absolutely. Pancada plays it perfectly again. Just a little bit of timing. Unfortunate for 10. I think actually in another couple of seconds he had the turret back up as well. Great play with the alarm bot just to isolate that one side of sight. But this swing was beautiful to deal with less. You see the timing there. Actually, 10 just slips back inside the smoke.
Wow.
Loud get away with murder on that one. So Pancada heavily tagged up from that first engagement as well. 3 ultimates online though for Loud. Bladestorm, Lockdown, and the TP for Pancada. As we know, Zeta struggling after that previous purchase. So just Sheriffs for them to work with. Zeta very active around the map here in this.
And
Sheikah
beyond
around, yeah. It's
the gamble here, you even pulled 10 across towards middle this time.
It's just Tommy to hold down the fort, holding B main. Depp actually nearly catches sight of somebody on that flash play, but and there's no real indicator here that it's a stack.
None.
Unless we see, you know, Crow potentially use a dart or something, that will give away the presence of a third player.
Placing swarm grenade.
This is the lineups here coming through. Big knife though. That catches 3, potentially 4.
The information on one, they're going to try and stick this. This is fraught with danger. There's so many players here. Aspas bolting forward, going to find one towards the back of the site. Spins towards heaven, loses it. Crow still lives. Pancada's going to see this. Finds you. Dep's gone now. But Sugar Zero is still waiting. 2 players still in this 10. Can he do anything now? Did so well before, maybe a second chance, but no. Once again, Pancada's got his number. And as dangerous as it was, they still survive. The 2 standing.
So cautious on approach, though. I think actually, misread from me there, it's actually the knife from Sadak that's invested right on the wall outside main, just to check that there's no crossfire set up with shorties, nobody absolutely hugging that wall next to bricks. Again, real discipline shown on the way through, and Loud actually now with a full stack of ultimates. Zeta not far away from the same situation, to be honest, just missing the Hunter's Fury and the Cosmic Divide.
So I get a little nervous that I see the pistol sitting with, two rounds off the back of that for Zeta and want to go into these slightly, better equipped rounds. It has been 3 on the trot for Loud. I wouldn't say slightly, it has some great purchases for Zeta, keep in mind the stacks that we've had coming out. And
Look at the switch out again, though, with this rotation.
so varied. But also the pace change coming out from Loud, too.
First time we've really seen them explore towards mid, other than that eco in round 2. Here, Depp is going to be the surprise factor with his operator. Does he swing close? Aspas posted for the angle. Depp just creeping closer and closer.
Who blinks first in this one?
We can see there as well, actually, almost just the smoke to draw the rotation. Did Aspas spot the barrel there? I think he did.
Might have
He's
done.
actively clearing this. The timing's disastrous for him, though.
Yeah, and Depp not going to follow that one up. He's got problems on another field. Now, that lockdown, yeah, could be a problem for one, but Depp finally smoked off. They actually take Crow down on the way in, so Zeta now in danger. 10's got to note that, wait, they don't clear this. Saucy just walked on past, going to pop down the lockdown of his own. Completely unawares of this. And Zeta have a second chance at life. A quick TP out for Pancada. He wants to get the hell away. Over towards the A site. Shut that door. Certainly not born in a barn. And trying to get a plant down, but look who's quick to this again. Sugar Zero, not far away now. They've got to play together. It still has utility to invest, still has the paranoia. The smoke goes up. They want that door gone. It's 3 towards heaven and 1 towards door. He's picked the right fight to go for, but Depp gets to keep his life. And he's going to toy with the time. Oh my word, Pancada steps in. And this time 10 shows him out. Diffuse going to come in.
A lack of awareness here. I think Sassy maybe just not anticipating such a ballsy play from 10, but you stick something like 10 on the Killjoy, you got to be mindful of things like that. The lockdown not actually clearing it all the way through the back of Boathouse. There's no confirmation either. There's no dart to come through, no knife to follow up on that. So a little lazy on the clearance here, and actually Depp went to the collat as well. Missed that one, the kill feed, but well handled by Zeta. I think maybe just the confused face, maybe thinking, where did you put the lockdown? It was invested so that it couldn't be wall banged, maybe couldn't be destroyed with any utility.
Sure. Close
to the wall there. A slight switch up, but obviously it was very visible on the minimap.
Get out of my way!
Oh, this is dangerous for Depp. Going to be under so much pressure very early on if they continue up this path, and yeah, the smoke's going to be invested too. So Depp, does he stick around for this? Aspas just going to be trailed, blazing his way through. Nothing slowed him down. They had no idea he could get to this point. Loud so fast in this round. Aspas going to get the rifle to hand, but Lat's still on top. The flash comes in, but he goes down. And 10 in the blink of an eye. The rest of his team has just been shredded.
Massive pace change from Loud, completely blindside Zeta. No real opportunity to find value with the operator. Sassy the one to close it out. Finds the kill with his Hunter's Fury as well, amidst that chaos.
Blistering pace there, Mike.
So that's just on the back of the knife as well. Able to close the distance almost instantaneously. Zeta spawn, actually. Yeah, actually surprising to see Zeta lean away from some of that aggression that worked for them on defense in bind. And this isn't the round really to gauge it by. I say that, they're walking mid here.
10 has to give away a little bit of the indicator towards this. Takes a fair amount of the contact, but up and over the wall they go. Les just walks in and gets his head removed. Depp,
Gun here.
comfy with that. Gonna try and slip away. That's a rifle to be recovered. A second
Oh my
shot
God.
at it! And he goes back for more! Catching Sassy completely unawares. What a fumble here from Loud. They're gonna be kicking themselves.
This is where actually you look towards Zeta to have these factors to convert the round, swing it back in their favor. Blade Storm still in action here. Pancada doing his best to fake an A-site hit, but look at the minimap here. Aspas is all the way towards B main. Actually, Sadak unsure of what to do here.
They need Aspas to get this space. They need it fast. Pancada can only sell this for so long. They could already be going, this feels a little offbeat now. He's actually following him with this. They're committing towards this. With all that clear to it. And that knife is incredibly telling. And now you're sweating. Now you're not happy with the choices you just made. Now you're alone, and Pancada has no really way to deal with this. Yes, support's on the way, but Aspas is a mile off. And he's got players 2 to the right, 2 to the left, and it does not matter. Zeta, depending on depth and around like this, and he just delivers. Aspas, irrelevant to outcome with 10 seconds left.
10 seconds
Loud
left.
getting lost in this.
44 HP on Aspas as well. He noted early on in the round, Crow really wants to spot him out. Pancada's done so well here to bait all of this presence on A. I'm not sure of the indicator that Loud are acting upon here. Maybe it's just nobody's swinging through Pancada's smoke. Nobody's desperate to but there's 4 people stacked up. The knife comes through at the time where it's like, well, there's 3 here. They're on top of us.
Yeah, it's already too late by that point. I was a little
But
surprised.
this was really strange. Less drifting into this smoke here. Again, no real information behind it. There's no knife. There's no recon bolt. There's no real concrete information to act upon. It's a little strange to see that happen.
Yeah, pretty quite frustrating that that's the round that you get pressured on. It feels, you know, like Zeta did absolutely manage the advantage they were given in a couple of those moments, but a couple of mistakes showing for Loud there has cost them keeping this clean. And now a good purchase coming back in. Not ideal, still light armor with depth, but he's fine. Opting for this. And once again, we question the timing of the knife. When do they invest this? When do they get that information?
Shadows traveling.
Smoke goes in towards middle. Spike is en route, and that gets nothing.
Once again, another round. Zeta are so active on the defense, really looking to get towards the side, but actually,
There's a fake.
on the back of just the drone this time around. It baits the full rotation, and actually Pancada sticks the TP to backside. Ten's completely unnoted it. He's found the kill.
10 so unaware at this point, and the site's now just free for the taking. They can flood on in. Nothing's going to stop it now. The spike's going to go down uncontested. That's a lovely bit of play coming out from Loud. Pro. Let's get a fair amount of connection. Up to work off that. Depp already with a step in towards the site, and Loud a little behind the curve, but still, the battle begins. The trade comes out in a 4v3. 3 for Zeta, Sugar Zero and Laz trying to make something out of this. Pancada's had none of it though. And what a response from Loud there.
And this is exactly what I was talking about. If Loud can use these rotation timings to their advantage, just the tiniest bit of bait. And Zeta are so paranoid to scramble this rotation. There's 4 people on the back of an Aldro.
Yep.
Immediately onto A site. The TP makes it even better because 10 actually slips towards a more passive position, comes back towards spawn, then second guesses himself because there's no follow-up on the Owl drone. It's beautifully done by Pancada. Actually leading the charge here for Loud, 12 and 5 on the scoreboard.
Big read for Loud in that. Again, obviously so obvious to us, but to make those calls to find that information that Zeta have been over-rotating. 10 getting given room here now. Hasn't explored this far. Pancada's noted it. Pretty sure just seen him call this one out.
No
Seen
ping coming through though,
something,
so...
though.
Well,
There's
maybe
the
a
ping.
flash coming through here from Sadak, yeah.
Cover going out.
Yeah, Sadak's been called back over. Clears out towards Sub Rosa. 10 on the other side.
Does it bounce far enough though? 10 still gets a kill.
Incredibly, he was able to get away with one.
But look at Depp. Depp's all the way in tiles. I think he is unnoted to this point.
I don't think they noticed Depp. No, so unaware. Catching Les completely blindsided by it.
The
Depp,
flash is perfect
he
as well.
actually keeps going. Depp! He's herding them around the map now. And they just have to go towards A. They're just trying to commit towards this now. Sassy's going to greet Laz with a smile. And Sugar Zero's the one to try and do some damage on this. Depp's going to hear a whole lot though. And the pressure starts to mount. He can't deal with it. Pancada has been bailing Loud out of some of these situations as well. Crow left in the 1v2. Pancada is low. 27 seconds is always a little bit of danger, but that is removed. Loud once again. Brilliant work there, noting that mid presence coming out. Even with 10 doing damage like that, they still get across the line.
This could actually be awkward here. We'll have to see where the funds lie. In round 11, the purchase comes through for Zeta, but great readjustment from now. Like I said, actually, Pancada, rightfully so, relaying that information, but it's the discipline around it. They wait for Sadak to come through. The flash goes over. The fragment actually goes down to clear the backside of Sub Rosa. Depp, unfortunately, I noted to that point, but he's only good for the one in mid.
Felt like he could have gone a second there at some point. It felt super precarious.
You see how desperate Aspas was to get the hell out of Dodge.
Yep, did not want to stick around for that. Don't blame you. 4-6 though. Loud back into the mix here. And looking quite simplistic on approach. It's a 4-1 split. You're going to have that late presence from Les, but beyond that, it's all towards A. Maybe see if they can test the nerve, and Zeta are up to the challenge. Depp caught Les towards middle, trying to creep up short. Laz on move towards Hell, just holding his own, but Sassy? How's he got this many players? And once again, Sadak and Aspas. The damage comes in. It's like they are playing mental gymnastics with Zeta now. You want to go for over-rotations? Well, now we're going to start hitting all in on these sites.
But it's almost Loud's demise here because of how quickly Zeta are in a position to just throw bodies back towards it. I'm not even sure. Depp gets his kill, and immediately he's like, right, cool, commit, let's go. Sassy somehow, though, comes to...
Oh, that's how.
Beautiful,
that's how.
Beautiful transfer.
Stunning.
And already Loud actually righting the ship in terms of the previous matchup here on the first half, which is what I think Zeta actually closed out 7-5 on the first half. The second half being, you know, the side of concern, but Loud already setting themselves up for success. As I said in the previous, look at the purchase coming through here. No shield for Depp, rifle, but actually Zero. How has he got that?
I don't know.
Down
But he doesn't get to keep his life this time. Spike can fall back into the hands of Loud. High risk, not sure about the reward just yet. 1-for-1 trade.
We're curious to see here what the decision making is with the lockdown. Ten's actually slipped all the way back onto B site. Conscious actually, I think, of Pancada's TP being available now. Has to be on red alert.
Already falling foul to that, you know, once, maybe twice. You don't want to keep getting caught.
But it's tough because the lockdown's such a pivotal tool for the retake that if they overinvest in this triple stack on A, it almost becomes pointless. Laz actually preemptively pops the null command to buy some time. Hunter's Fury posted from deep here.
And look at the combination in timing. Crow did actually get Pancada, which is quite surprising. They still haven't quite broken towards the site. No 3v3, we look at the utility left. They're going to start running low here for Loud on the way in. There's that lockdown coming through.
30 seconds left.
And there's the response.
They're both actually going to cancel each other out, but Loud looking to still try and clear their way through. Aspas good for the one. Laz responds on less, but 30 HP has to back away.
Has to respect this now. Loud eyeing up getting the plant down. 10 seconds. Guard duty now called into effect for Sassy. Has to hold him safe here. Sprays him wildly, dips down towards Hell, and now it's just him in a 1v2. 10 and Laz. Sassy with a 4. Almost had the fight on 1.
Nearly had the shock dart kill on Laz.
Yep, getting real close to working that out. But the scoreline actually going to get itself back in a really good spot here. It's going to be 5-7, Mike.
Actually, the mirror reflection of that previous matchup as well. But like I said, this sets Loud up for success in the second half.
It certainly does, and I've got to say, Pancada this half to me has been an absolute nightmare to handle, a real nuisance running around this. Any quick prediction who's going out the better here?
It's got to be Loud, surely.
This is a good performance thus far from Loud, teeing them up into the second half, and they have that map 1 advantage, of course.
Yeah, they do. And coming into the second here, my eyes immediately go towards Les and Sassy. They were instrumental to shutting Zeta down on the defense previously. And actually as well, Aspas having a quiet, not a quiet one. He opens his up depth, chomping at the bit to find this first blood.
Oh, and the info off the back, it's just non-stop. Aspas ringing the bell, Crow's down as well. 10 and Laz. Can you try and tell me a different outcome to this round? Because I'm not going to believe it until I see it.
It's just ridiculous. Aspas stands his ground and actually looking to seal the deal, but 10 responds. Actually, the spam coming through.
Oh, there's nowhere to run. Nowhere to hide. Got to stand and fight and Loud, kicking things off. But what a way to begin for Aspas there.
And I think this is confidence relying on their previous success, right? And just happy to greet Depp with open arms. I was going to say, actually, Aspas had a quiet defensive half last time, but typically he is one that as soon as that operator comes online, he becomes such a troublemaker for Loud.
True. Yeah, and seeing them start to heat up a bit, feeling out the game, the confidence start brimming. That's when you get a little worried when you're Zeta on the other side, because it's easy to go quiet. Because we always say, you know, being that player who's emotional, who puts their heart on the sleeve, which we know Zeta are like, when that loss starts to kick in, it gets bitter, it gets very hard to pry yourself out of that.
Well, it was 6 rounds unanswered last time as well. Now, if you look at the scoreline, like I said, set themselves up for success. That would be map and series here. Dep actually facing off with Aspas here, but Aspas the one to find the tag. 10. He's just double open B with a classic.
Can you believe it? Absolute scenes. I mean, he's given them a gateway.
He's got the upgrade as well on the Bulldog.
What is
Sugar Zero's
happening?
found one.
What is happening with these classics, man? I don't get it. Aspas and Sadak are probably just reeling off the back of this round. Dep, 14 HP, barely alive. Laz still standing. Gotta get something here. Laz looking to the left, spots out one. And Dep wants it. But he has to be patient. They have to play this to perfection. Nothing else will suffice. The pop flash comes in. It's decent. Laz turns in. They're already at the doorstep. And Sadak is there. Back in. Threat neutralized. But that got completely wild out of nowhere.
I mean, it happened off screen, but did 10 literally just W key towards the outro?
It looked like it. It looked like it.
It's just ridiculous.
That close. You didn't see what I just did at home, but that close. There you go, let's see. Yep.
Literally just
shoulder
charges.
checks it. Oh, that's borderline disrespect, man. Look at this. I love it. Oh.
Free gun, by the way. Cost you nothing.
Best things in life are free, Michael. That's what they say. Well,
interesting decision here, actually. Well, one away from the Bladestorm. Aspas actually going to throw the operator in the mix here. The round 3 operator. You look at the rest of the purchase. 2 Sheriffs, a Bulldog, a Spectre to round things out. Now, I mean, this could be Gigabrain from Zeta reading the possibility because they're playing very cautiously here in the open. And Aspas posted up on a pretty deep angle and not noted with the knife, I think. Yeah, not suppressed.
Now, do they re-clear this knife back? Finds nothing again, similar scenes, but you're not going to just shoulder check this, are you?
Surely not.
Oh, Laz, no! Easy work for Aspas, just waiting patiently.
The problem being that's the only flash. So it's the only thing really to force Aspas off any of these angles that he wants to re-explore in the mid-round now.
Crow going through the motions now towards middle. Sadak with that flash ready. Underhand's lovely. Really good underhand. It actually going to get you 2. It does. Look at this combination in utility. Loud. Beautiful in approach. That was actually perfect.
And the concerns start to grow. Zeta unable to get anything done on that first buy round. They haven't got many more left to play with. Loud already on double digits. They keep this clean. They almost can't afford to buy themselves out here. Play a couple of rounds off trades alone. Get a little more aggressive.
One enemy remaining.
Stingers will come out for Zeta. 1 off the lockdown. 2 off the null command. Operator now posted in mid. Actually, Dep going to find the opening. Pancala with a massive paranoia, but no kills. He's going to get closed down here.
I'm amazed that just happened. It felt as though he had potentially 2 for free, but Aspas now going to pick up the mantle, but actually missing the shot will at least allow them a little bit more step towards the site. And tell me how we've got here, but the flank's coming in. That's what worries me, that less is on the way.
Spike planted.
Whether or not Zeta actually going to adjust here in anticipation. Aspas down to 38 HP though. So he's got to be careful. He's got to land the shot.
It's do or die for him. Less though, timing now, everything. Do they even expect this? They look so vulnerable to
Crow's
it.
position.
His patience is going to pay dividends. Going to get 2. Let's going to spot the 3rd and finds it. Zeta crushed under the weight of Loud at the moment. This is now 11. Zeta looking a little lost here, Mike. I'm getting worried. The worries were on the half, but now they're starting to really peak.
And it's Les, the one that had such a phenomenal half previously, to steal this one with the 3K. Completely unconsidered. I thought actually with the smoke there was going to be some element of consideration of the flank coming through, but Crow out in no man's land here. Unless seals the deal with the 3rd. That's 4 unanswered now.
Yep.
Zeta have to make a stand here in round 17.
It's got to be now. It's now or it's never, at least in this event. Zeta, I mean, it's not comfortable. They are close on a lot of ults. Maybe they can activate some of this.
Here?
It looks all in. And who's on the other side? The close down. Dep's going to be charging on it.
He's blind as well.
Blind.
He still gets the kill.
Frag towards Zadak. And the site is open. One towards shot, but the flank, it's so fast, Mike. There are 2 players on this flank, but he's going to note them. That's huge. Aspas, and now Dep quickly gets to work. He is on the case. Would you expect to? Dep, this is so dangerous. 2 towards heaven, the swing from Aspas demolishes Dep. And now it's game on, locked down from either side. Gonna go with the fight, he's gonna put out 3, and Zeta are charging on forward. Pancada now put to task. Laz gets depleted, they're putting everything on the line now. It's 10 and Crow. How much can you do? Loud in response saying absolutely nothing. Diffuse gonna come in and Loud weather the storm and make it to 12.
It's heartbreaking to watch that round for Zeta. There's so many different things they have to worry about. The flank coming through, they have the numbers advantage. They send 2 back, and they still lose out on that. As soon as they lose this kill, you can see straight away they want to push Tree. As 3 people, they force their way back into shore. But Loud play it perfectly, ripping Zeta apart. Loud on map and series point now, so they can get an operator online.
I don't love that.
Yeah,
I don't
same.
love that. Get maybe one of the other players up to at least maybe a rifle with the full armor. I don't love
if Laz
this.
has got the Spectre, give it to Dep.
Sure,
Blade,
sure,
give
that's
him a
fine.
rifle.
Yeah. And Aspas is potentially the one to do this. Divide can go up and playing ahead of it. Aspas with a punish. Finds Sugar Zero and gets away with his life. The shutdown going to try and come in. They're trying to close down on this. Aspas does the
Oh my
dodge!
god!
Oh, he finally goes down. Dep does get the better of him. Just about. And now he looks towards the side. They're trying to come towards that B side. The spray and the pray from Sassy. And someone's answering this time, leaving just Crow alive in a 1v3. The reveal towards CT, and he just can't do it. Zeta's heart's broken, but Loud roar their way through the game.
What a performance again. This is the kings of consistency here on Ascent defense, closing this one out so comfortably. And it's hard, but you can still see Zeta trying to drag themselves online, still playing with blistering pace here on Ascent. In the opens, Dep finding 7 first bloods here.
He tried.
Put everything on the line. Loud stand tall.
Yeah, Loud, I've got to say, I mean, we've seen them go out early in events, but you look at the opponents they've gone out to, you look at the caliber that these boys can play to, you look at the map pool they're coming in with. I think today you saw a good version of Loud coming out here, and I think they actually only get better as they go on. I don't think they're a team that's going to fumble here. I think there's genuine potential here, and it's never easy to see the other side of the coin, of course, here. But Zeta, got to give credit for map 1 in my mind, Mike. That was their biggest hope.
That's the way you want to see a team come out playing in an elimination match. Again, put everything on the line. A lot of faith in 2 star players in that composition.
And they found it.
In my eyes, they played it to a T.
They
They absolutely knew what the win condition was, and they built around it and really tested Loud. Actually forced a massive adjustment out of Loud, who, in terms of pedigree, you got to say, well, odds-on favourites to win this series, period.
Yes, and hey, I know that the fans out there will say, you know, well, favoritism doesn't really, it doesn't matter, but you look at the odds of who's gone further, who's got the better map pool, who's got the experience here, you would put that in Loud's favour. So to have map 1 be that sort of result certainly is pretty telling, and credit to them for that. But again, Loud showing value.
Sassy coming in with it, playoff easy, apparently.
I don't know, man.
Map 1 didn't happen, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure on easy. And even Pancada putting in heroics in this map as well in that first half.
Just a fantastic map 2 performance from him as well.
Yep.
Aspas has said had a quiet one last time.
Sure,
I think it was only 5 kills on the defense last time, but here just opening with a bang. Actually, that continued throughout, causing problems with that operator. Like I said, great stuff from Louders. They do book their ticket.